Hello class. As part of our ongoing CPR discussion, today we'll be talking about how to use an AED.
AE what?
An AED stands for Automated External Defibrillator. It detects irregular heartbeats before shocking the heart, allowing it to beat normally again.
Sounds complicated.
Oh, well, it's actually very easy, but first we have to start with conventional CPR. Now, if someone has collapsed and you didn't see it happen, what would you do?
Check to see if he responds and is breathing normally.
If he doesn't respond, call 911.
Then start CPR by giving 2 breaths, then open his shirt, and then give 30 compressions.
That's right. And you need to keep doing CPR until the AED arrives and is ready to use. So let's get started. Sam, why don't you start CPR?
Are you okay? Call 911 now.
All right. Zach, why don't you open the AED, turn it on, and then follow the commands.
You mean it talks?
Attach pads to victim's bare chest.
All right, good.
Plug-in connector. Checking, clear the victim.
Okay, now, at this point, you want to make sure that no one's touching the victim. Now, if a shock is needed, the AED will say, a shock is needed, clear the victim. And after the shock is given, it'll say, start CPR beginning with compressions. And you just repeat this process until professional help arrives.
What if their heart is beating okay? Will they still get a shock?
That's a good question. No, the AED will not shock a person who has a normal heartbeat.
That sounds easy. The AED pretty much tells you everything you need to do.
Yeah, that's right. And there's a few more things you need to know. For example, always use the larger pads for victims over 8 years old.
What about babies?
Another good question. Right now, the American Heart Association doesn't have enough information to recommend for or against using an AED on infants who are less than a year old. If the victim is wet, you'll want to dry his chest off with this towel before applying the pads. Never deliver a shock when the victim's lying in water or covered with water. If the victim's wearing a medication patch, like this, you want to remove it first. If you see a lump under the victim's skin about the size of a deck of cards, it's probably a pacemaker or a defibrillator. You'll want to apply the pads about 1 inch from this device. And last but not least, if the victim has a hairy chest, you might have to shave his chest with the razor that's provided.
Ew. What are the chances the victim will make it?
Well, performing CPR and using an AED will greatly increase the chance that you could be a lifesaver. All right, who wants to go next?
Me! I want to go again.